In this video, we're going to be talking about how I made 15.6k in one single day, and I'm going to give you guys the strategies and the things that I used to actually get here, and so you can also implement it for yourself, most importantly. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be looking for a product. No, we're not going to be doing that. That is what everyone thinks you need to be doing, is look for a product, and that's completely false. We're not going to be looking for a product like everyone else. We're going to be looking for a market, right? We're going to be looking for a market that is going to be in need of a solution. Now, this is what we're going to be selling to them. We're not going to be selling the product. We're going to be selling a solution back to a market that is in need of that solution, right? So an example would be men. The market is basically men. You guys probably are watching this. A lot of people have problems with this, like breast scales. Like you guys see it online all the time. When you're an entrepreneur, you just lose hair. A lot of men lose hair. So for example, I'll just type the market is men with hair loss, right? So hair loss. This is the market. Now our solution to that is not going to be a product. Our solution is going to be the solution itself. This is going to be, for example, either of preventing hair loss, right? Preventing hair loss, that's a solution. Another solution to hair loss is to help grow hair again, right? So this is different solutions. Now we're not selling a product just yet. You can of course find a product that is going to prevent the hair loss. You can find a product that's going to help grow hair again, i.e. minoxidil. For this one, supplements, so your biotin or any of these gummies, etc. But the whole idea is we're going to be looking for a market that want to stop having the problems that they're having, because hair loss ain't nice, right? Another solution, I'll just type it down here: Turkey. All right, you go to Turkey, you get a hair transplant, it's also done. So the whole idea when we're doing this, we're not looking for any products just yet, we're looking for a product once again. Now, once you've identified your market, once you've found who you are going to be selling to, who is struggling with a huge problem, and you can actually find a solution to that, the next step is going to come down to research. Yes, we're not going to go straight away, again, not to product. We're not going to go into the fancy shit yet. We want to go do research. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can use, for example, AI for this. I personally like to use Amazon. So reason being is just gets you in the whole idea of your customer's head. So for example, let's say we're going to be looking at hair loss for men in this instance. What we're going to just go to Amazon, and I'm just going to type here hair loss men, and what you're going to see is a lot more products focused on men. So for example, you see a hat. Whoa, that's expensive for a fucking hat, but it's red light therapy hat for men, 1500 bucks. Here 15, 16 bucks, 20 bucks. Minoxidil, you have hair treatment serums, you have minoxidil, you have even like supplements here, you have biotin, vitamins, you have everything here that you can basically sell. Now, what I see, for example, that we can do that I don't yet see, which I do see on the women's side but not on the men's side, is that they're not selling any gummies towards it. So in a previous video, what I explained to you guys, when we do find a solution, I'll just make another one here. What we want is either two things. So we want to either find a product that's going to be differentiating us, right? So product, or we're going to be finding an angle that's going to be differentiating us. Either one of the two, it doesn't matter which one you choose, both are fine. You just want one of the two. Now, for example, by changing angle, you would change it towards old men that are bald, completely bald, that want to grow hair back. That is a different angle than 22, 30-year-old men that are losing their hair, and you want them to prevent the hair loss, right? So you want them to prevent going to Turkey. You want them to prevent going bald. Now, the other angle, one angle is preventing hair loss. The other one is you've already lost your hair, so you gotta fix it again. So those are angle 1 and 2. For example, that's the way you can change it. Now, another way we can change it is our product. So when we have our product, instead of selling like everyone like minoxidil, like everyone is selling minoxidil, right? Other people are selling usually like serums or like these red light therapy, etc. We're just not going to sell gummies, for example. As simple as that. Now, when you do search up here, hair loss women, you will probably find some fucking gummies that they're selling, or at least I know a couple brands already myself selling gummies for this. What we can do is just here, for example, hair vitamin gummies. This is exactly something you can take and target it towards men. So what we can do to do our research is to find out what men are struggling with and apply it to this product. So first things first, we're going to go back to hair loss men. Now I'm just going to go click on this product here, and what we want to go do, and we just want to go to the reviews so we can actually read about it. Now you see still again lots of women here, and it's also these capsules, etc. Now, what we are looking for here is the reviews that have huge amounts of text. Now, the reason being here, people are talking about their problem. You can note down every single thing about the research. So, for example, we have the pain points, we have the benefits, we have their objections, we have their failed alternatives, we have their desires, etc., etc. Now I just wrote them down here, but these are the things we were basically looking for. So if someone says, yeah, I tried minoxidil, I had to keep using it, I didn't like that, that's a failed alternatives we can go into. Now with the objections, it could be, oh, is a gummy really gonna work? I saw some gummies, but I didn't want to. If they're saying that, then we know that's an objection. Now their desires might be that they want to be, be outside again with their family and not being stressed about the wind blowing their fucking hair off. A pain point could be every morning they wake up, they look in the mirror and they feel extremely insecure, for example, insecure, unwell, etc., whatever, right? And the benefits could be what the benefits are of the product. So we're going to read that right here. For example, here says my hair stopped falling out. I've been taking for 3 months daily now. What made me start taking is because my hair is getting very thin, and when I shower and wash my hair, it will just come out in clumps. Now, this is for women. Men wouldn't have this really, but still, it's very thinning hair. This is very important. So you can note that down here on the pain points. Oh, thinning hair, right? This is thin hair, blah, blah, blah. And then, another thing, what she says here, for example, I don't necessarily think my hair looks thicker, but it's definitely not falling out at the insane rate it was. So we can, for example, go in that where we say like, okay, it's not falling out anymore, or it's looking a bit thicker. So she's also saying her hair doesn't look thicker. She probably wants that. That's probably one of her desires, is to have thicker hair, right? So it's thicker hair. And these are the things you can just note down by doing your market research, just going by all of these points and understanding why people actually want these type of stuff. Another thing what you can do, you can just literally come over here to ChatGPT and you can type to ChatGPT, for example, give me 10 pain points men would have that are struggling with hair loss / thinning. My target audience is men that are not bald yet but are losing hair or have very thin hair, for example, right? Thin hair. And then what is this called? ChatGPT is going to say, for example, declining confidence. Absolutely. Obsessive mirror checking. You're going to be checking your hair. Absolutely. Styling frustrations. You can't style your hair anymore. This is also a very big thing. I see this also very often. So these are the things you can basically use, and you can ask ChatGPT for more. So give me, for example, I'll just type to ChatGPT, give me 10 desires that these men are looking for example, just simply. And then here, to regain control of their hair, to look youthful again, boost confidence, improve attractiveness is probably a big one for ladies, because why else would a man need fucking hair, right? Maintain sharp, put together, slow down, reverse hair loss, etc., etc. Now you see, you can keep asking ChatGPT, you can keep feeding ChatGPT with more and more and more questions, more and more things about research, so we can actually find out what the most common. For example, we'll just ask ChatGPT now, what is the most common hair treatment they use? What is the most common hair treatment methods these men use? So our market is not about women, because women have lots of hair loss also, but we're fully on men. So they're using minoxidil, finasteride, thickening shampoos and conditioners, hair fibers, concealers, blah blah blah. Nutritional supplements is what we want to get into. Then say, for example, you type the ChatGPT again, say I want to go into nutritional supplements for this target audience. What are the best ingredients to promote hair growth, and why? Now, what I'm trying to do with this is when we're gonna, for example, make gummies, we're gonna focus on things like this, like biotin gummies, right? So we're going to be looking here also what they have. For example, collagen, keratin, hyaluronic acid. I don't know what this one is. These three I know. Biotin and vitamins I also know, which is very good. But here you don't see any gummies or anything for men. Now these are for women. Once again, we saw that. But here we have this, for example, hair gummies. This, where was this one here? Sugar bear hair gummies. 12 vegan actives, blah blah blah. But this is not targeted towards men. It's more, yeah, it's for men and women. But a lot of the times you don't see really men. You see again women, women, women. All the time it's women, right? So we want to take this stuff, throw it to men, and believe me, it'll work like a charm. Now what we're going to do, we're going to determine our ICP. So very important also in the research, let me just make a side tangent here, is our ICP. Now ICP basically means our ideal customer persona. So who would ideally buy from us? A man probably between the ages of 23 until 30, 42, whatever age, and then he's working this job, he's doing this on a daily basis, etc, etc. Now for this I do have some prompts, so I'm going to pull up those. Now what I have here in the prompt is this one, prompt to finding ICP, and I'm just going to take that one, I'm just going to yank that in there and see what it is going to come up with. For example, it says the age of 28 to 40, mid-level to senior level. A lot of the times, like, it also says financial or like tech stuff, which is very, very, you know, normal for them to have. Supplement don't work, they're just marketing fluff. This is what they think apparently. Strength volumizing shampoos or trendy TikTok hack with no results. Most common interest, gym, workouts, also very good. So for example, what we can take from this, because a lot of men at this age do go to the gym, what we can, for example, take is going to the gym with no confidence, or going to the gym but you feel like, I don't know, you feel insecure about your hair type shit. We could just throw that kind of stuff in there. We could just go with that, right? Now you need to keep doing your research down more and more and more. Now I already have all the videos on this, so I'm not going to go fully deep into this. So what the next step would be is basically from the research. So I'll just yank it down from the research, is two things. One, we're going to our website with our research. Reason we do our research first is so we can use it for our website that we're going to create with AI. And then two, what we're going to do, which I'm going to discuss in a bit, is going to be our ad creative. So the first things first, for our website with AI, what we're going to do is we're going to make a side tangent here, and I'm going to write down Atlas. And first things first, we need to also make, which I'll make another side tangent for, is product images. So what we're going to go ahead and do is make them in smaller keyboards. Exactly. So for the store, to write down what we're going to do, I'm just going to throw this in here, which is another prompt we have, is make these pain points, objective, common interest, etc., like into one-liners, so we can use it on our store, right? So for example, you can use like this one, supplements don't work, throw that on your store, etc. And here we have way more. It's all the things you can use. Now what we're going to do is we're going to recreate a product image, but for that we need to go and find a product image. So first things first, I'm going to take this, and what I'm going to do is copy this image. Now this is more going to be the one, the product image is more going to be for ads also, so creatives, but I'm going to go into it for our store right now. So what I'm going to do is I want you to recreate this image, but before you do, can you just change the text, blah blah blah. So what this is going to do is ChatGPT is going to give me what is inside of this picture, what they're using, like all the fruits, the name of the hair vitamins, etc, etc. Now I also told ChatGPT to change everything based on the research that we've done so far, so you do need to work out with everything we did. So for example, I did it with the hair loss for men, and you also see, for example, it says here product name men's hair growth support, advanced DHT blocking formula, etc, etc. And then here it's also talking about men, where it's, you know, just fully about men basically. Now I'm just going to throw this last prompt in here, which is a prompt to get a prompt. So what ChatGPT is going to do right now is just going to create all this, and I'm just going to throw literally that in ChatGPT and see what ChatGPT comes up with. So what we're going to do, copy this prompt. That is literally the prompt ChatGPT gave me, and I'm just going to throw that in there. Now what ChatGPT came up with here, bro, this shit is fire, I'll be honest. That's one. Two, I made some on Sora here as well. This is basically the ones on Sora. It also looks good. I don't like this one too much because the gummies, not gummies there. This one looks a bit better. This also is pretty good. You can work this out, make more product pictures, basically tell ChatGPT, make a man actually take it that has some good hair, etc. And then you could just throw that in there, which I'm going to do right now. All right, for example, ChatGPT now just generated this one. Looks pretty decent in my opinion. Something along these lines you can use. Also looks quite high quality. So that's pretty fine. I would just go ahead and use that one. Now here we have Sora, which is basically the one we also had before. But this one is not generating the packaging as well. The pictures are better, as in the guy looks more realistic than here. But the fucking the gummies are not looking as good as it looks on ChatGPT. So I would just go ahead with this one instead of the ChatGPT one. Now, what is the next step is building your website with Atlas AI. Now, I've done this multiple times. I'm not going to be doing this in this video because I just don't feel like it. I just want to go ahead after the product images. I want to go do the creators with you guys. So we're going to go into first two things. Now you have, of course, static image ads. So you have basically static image ads, which is basically some image ads you can only use on Facebook. You cannot use this really on TikTok, which is only going to be, very hard to do on TikTok. And then you have video ads. Now with video ads, we have multiple variants of it, like long form VSL, short form VSL. We have UGC, we have this, we have that. Same thing with static image ads. We have different ones, product features, before and afters, blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to go to Get Hooked right now. And on Get Hooked, you can find similar products. So what I'm going to do first of all is performance high. Static ad style is perfectly fine. Niche, I'm going to go on, let me just scroll through here. Maybe we'll find something. I'll just go with supplements so we can actually use something. So I'm just going to go click on supplements. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go on image ads only. Performance, I'll just select the 5 and the 4 so we get some decent ads. And what you can do now is literally just scroll through here and find supplements, maybe in the same niche, maybe different niches, right? So I'm going to be looking for something that is kind of going to be in the sense of like a supplement, like gummies. So I scrolled the whole thing through it, and what I see is this. So this one looks nice. I also have a couple up here, but this is nice. Here you can actually mention the stuff that has in there. So I'm just going to download that one, and I'm going to download the second one. Now what I'm going to say is I'm going to go back to ChatGPT first. I'm going to add that image in there, and then I'm going to go back to our prompts where it says I want you to recreate this image. But before that, just basically get whatever text, etc. it has to be, and just make it on the research that we have done so far onto our product. And I'm going to just close Sora because it ain't getting me what the fuck I want. Now what I'm going to do, make this into a prompt so I can generate it for my ad. I'm just going to paste that in there. Now what I do recommend doing here, every single time you're trying to make an ad off of someone else, basically you're taking their thing. It says here, for example, yellow or electric blue. Now, this is not our brand colors, for example. Now, you might also find some other things that you don't want in there. So what I'm going to go here, I'm just going to read through it just slightly so I can have, something we can go into. Now, only thing I see is the yellow or electric blue in, I would say, dark blue / black. It's basically what it's going to do. I just threw it in there. It's basically just going to make that image that we just, kind of dissected by ChatGPT, and it's going to create it for our product. So let's see what it comes up with. Now, just as a side note, you guys don't have to have everything made with AI. You don't have to use Atlas. You don't have to use static image ads, or you don't have to use video ads that are made with AI. You can make this shit all yourself also. Now, is it easier? Yeah, absolutely. Same thing with product images. You don't need to use AI. You can make it all yourself. Canva, or you try some other software. It's all possible. This, you can just also scratch Atlas. You can literally make it with Shrine, right? Or so Shrine, or another good theme, in my opinion, is Impact. These are all things you can do. All I'm just showing you guys with this is just to make things easier and taking it the way with AI, so AI does majority of the work for you. Now, this is what we get. I'll be honest, that actually looks quite decent for just throwing it in here with this one that we just found. Now, it doesn't have this whole thing that they have, but it doesn't need to because we're setting it a bit differently. Now, this blocks the HD, supports thicker, fuller looking hair, confidence you can feel. Also going into the emotions. That's what I like about it. So that's the first one. What I'm going to do now, exactly the same thing. Only thing, I'm just going to throw the second one in there, which is going to be only the gummy. So let's see how that one pops out. So back again, I want you to recreate this image ad, but just add everything onto our thing. What I'm hoping it does, seriously, that it's going to generate these as gummies, or like the gummy bears, as we had with this guy up here, or like a normal, something different than what they have. So also when you get the basically like make it into a prompt, right? When I'm making this into a prompt, what I'm going to do is now, for example, because I want this to be that, or because let's say you want the text to be changed, let's say here, reclaim your hair, rebuild your confidence, good text. Let's say you want to put there, only today 50% discount, just saying random shit. You can adjust that. Only thing you need to do with your prompt here, you need to come out and then just change it up there. That's it. So what I'm going to do, this exact thing, I'm just going to copy this. Now what I'm going to change is the visual product focus inside navy gummies shaped as capsules or clean edged bears. Perfect, that's what we want. Now it already did it for me. I was just going to go ahead and talk about, just make it like bears instead of the shape of this gummies that they have, which is basically electric, right? So let's see what it comes up with. I think ChatGPT did a really good job on this one, so we're gonna see. All right, here we have the ad again. Now it looks maybe not as the same as this. For example, they don't have the arrow there, which you can easily add with ChatGPT, or you can easily add it with Canva. It doesn't really matter. But here, best hair upgrade, period. That's it. Now, of course, I would change the text maybe because it's not, it's not speaking to our customer, the customers that we want to speak to. Now, for them, best energy hack, that works because it's a hack, it's for energy. You take it, it's done. This is probably going to take some long term to actually work. So what I would say, for example, is solution to balding. Something like that. Just get them over. Something crazy. They're like, what the fuck? And then be like, oh, gummy solution to balding. What the fuck are you talking about? And then this is probably going to convince them over. Shop now. They click it, etc., etc. Now, this is also this is also an ad that would be more product aware, or there would be more, some people that are also solution aware, let's say, right? That would be problem and solution aware. So it's a bit different. Now, this one that we made here would be more towards people that are problem aware, but they're not solution aware. So here we're supporting them with their solution, etc., etc. Now that is basically going to conclude it. It's as simple as that. Now it sounds crazy. I made it very simple, but it can be that simple. This is all the things you need. Now after you've done all of this, of course, you have things like to grow, for example, like grow your AOV plus your lifetime customer value, which you're going to do with emails, which you're going to do with SMS, which you're going to do with drops, which you're going to do with new product V2, etc. There's like more to go into it, but that is only on the front. This is only on the later back end, right? The front end is this, as simple as that. Now, if that was helpful to you, and if you would like to see more of that, and if you would like some one-on-one guidance like these guys where they're making literally, bro, 16.5k in one day, 5.1k in one day, 6k in a day, 11.9k in a single day. Here we have 20k in basically a week, 5k in a day, like goes crazier and crazier every single time. And if you would also like to get one-on-one support just like these guys, and you would like to get your brand or your store to 100k plus revenue inside of 4 months to work together with me, there's going to be a fill out form inside of the description. Just go fill that out. Now, this does not come for free. I invest my time into this. My team invests their time into this. So you do need some investment. If you don't have any means of investment, don't fill the form out. If you do, and if you're interested, fill the form out, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.